Why did I do that? We always lose listeners in the first minute. Why am I doing this to ourselves?
Yeah, I'm really hitting them with this is the last episode.
The worst possible intro. Yeah. What's
Run
up,
it back, man. We don't need to cut that, but try again just to. Okay,
Good
guys,
intro.
we will try again. We'll try again.
Hit him with the Riz. Fuck.
Okay. So when I said try again, I didn't say make it a little bit worse.
Okay. All right.
Maybe okay. Like visually, okay. So guys, this is what we implore you to. Maybe we bait them. Okay. We're decent looking people, Ben.
Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
We enter every episode with this.
Oh, I see.
You know, like
yeah.
get them.
A little coy. A little.
Yeah. And you're like, hey guys.
I don't care. What's that term? Well.
Like, oh my, yeah. Hey, you know, we need to lean into.
Yeah. There you go.
Boyfriend ASMR. We need to buy a bunch of pipes.
Yes, I like where you're going with this now. Okay.
So, as my only constituent, Ben, I implore you to consider donating, like at least 25 metal pipes.
25 metal pipes and like those ASMR mice that are like the 2 ears.
Yeah, the 2 ears. So that's how we really get them.
Podcast that we get going.
So we're like, hey, girl. I've heard you had a really bad day, and then a car hits us.
Yeah. Okay. So you basically want to become like Foley artists.
Yeah.
Instead of podcasters. Is that what we're gonna do? Okay. Yeah.
No. Okay. So we pioneer a new sort of thing where it's like Foley podcast.
Foley pods. Yeah.
Right.
Foley
so
cast.
just really get.
There we go.
We find our niche.
Yeah.
Which is boyfriend ASMR.
Yeah.
With a lot of metal pipes, but then we also talk about meme culture and history.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So we get him in with the ASMR, and then we like hit him with our criticism, our culture.
Yeah.
Criticism.
So it's like, okay, so here's my let me get in my politician sort of party up top, short shorts on the bottom. Let's go.
No, that's what we're all doing. Yeah. The Zoom call uniform. Yeah.
Zoom call uniform. So I'm like, so what we could do is like, we just go with our usual like episode type of stuff, but then in the middle of it, things happen that we just don't acknowledge.
Okay.
So like a metal pipe drops.
Right.
Or like something like explodes.
Okay.
And we just go like, oops, sorry. That was just Ben getting hit by a car. Oh, sorry. That was just 3 cans of Viking cheese falling on JD's head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then to get that started, I asked for $20.
Okay.
$20 for metal pipes, all from Home Depot.
Who are we not boycotting? Probably Home Depot's being boycotted.
Oh, God. Is this the time
Ace Hardware. I think they're okay. I don't know. Don't quote me on this.
Is this the time to start stealing?
Not going to say that on the podcast, but...
I don't think I'm allowed to also say that.
No, you're not. So
that was not me. I'm playing a character today.
Look, if some pipes happen to fall off a truck and they end up at JD's house, no one's gonna complain. And there's $20 in it for you. And there's a nice, clean 20.
I'm once again asking. For a bunch of metal pipes to fall. Is that Is that too much to ask?
If you want us to stop podcasting and start Foleying, all it costs is $20.
All it costs is $20 of your time.
Yeah.
Every month, you give us $20.
Yeah.
And we buy a new pipe every single time.
Yeah. The pipe guys. It'll be like our Foley portfolio is just all pipes.
Yeah, so tell us about your experience in Foley work and how you came about how you entered Foley.
Just getting pipes.
Yeah. So okay, Ben. So I'm interviewing you. We're like, hi. Yeah. So I've read your resume. Really, really interested in it. There is a 3-year gap that I'm very interested in, but I don't really mind that. Everyone has their own business. But I just wanted to ask, how did you get into pipe Foleying specifically? It says you're a pipe Foley artist.
Well, I'm kind of like that kind of thing. It was really inspirational to me. So just like the kind of the rawness of Foley and pipe particularly. It's like it's a hard sound. And there's something that's real there. and I think like authentic. And that's something that I think is really important these days. Like a lot of Foley artists are out here like doing like fake shit, you know? Like they want you to think they're crunching in the snow, but they're really like sticking their hands in rice. And like we're doing something real. Like all we do is pipes, but we say it's a pipe and you know it's a pipe.
Yeah.
So that's it. You're getting authenticity.
Authenticity. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really, really interested in this sort of history, and you know, we really in the time of AI, we're really missing out on real metal pipes being struck on the floor.
And that's like, these AI Foley guys saying that they're like making sounds, you know, that they're like, they're just putting in prompts. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah.
Like, where's the soul?
Yeah.
Where's the heart?
That's what we're really trying to get started here at Lucasfilms.
Yeah, thank you, George, for
I'm my name is actually the J in my name stands for George
R. Martin.
George R. Martin.
Yeah, sick. I love I love Harry Potter.
Yeah. Who wrote Chronicles of Narnia?
What's her name?
Hey, who's C.S. Lewis?
J.J. Simmons. There we go. Yeah, okay.
Then J.J. Simmons, is that not the guy from the jazz drumming movie?
Whiplash? Yeah, that's the guy from Whiplash. Yeah.
All right, okay. So who's also the M&M Peanut? I think
he's the peanut M&M?
Is he the peanut M&M?
He's an M&M. He's M&M adjacent. You're right, for sure.
Peanut M&M boys.
Yeah.
Boys. J.K. Simmons is the... I'm allergic to J.K. Simmons.
Wow. No J.K. Simmons for you.
He replaced John Goodman after the original 1995 commercials.
Whoa. Being the peanut M&M is a cush gig. That's crazy. They got some pulling power over to M&Ms, huh?
So maybe we stop. Maybe we quit Foley work and we just aim to be an M&M. I do want to be the desexualized green M&M. Oh wait, is it the brown or the green M&M? I don't know.
Is it the brown or the green M&M? I don't know.
As an expert on hot candy objects, Ben.
Yeah, it's the green M&M is the hot one. I think canonically, the brown M&M I think is a lesbian though. Isn't that like a thing that conservatives were mad about?
Are they? They're dating.
I think they were together.
Oh, I love that for them.
I think so. Maybe I dreamt that.
So you were dreaming of lesbian M&Ms. Okay, source.
My fan fiction.
I see. We introduced him to fan fiction last week, and now he's writing M&M Yuri. So not even yaoi. This is not going to be doomed Yuri. You're going to actually help.
It's not going to crack either. This is like the good good shit. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of questions to be asked about how they sort of interact with each other, Ben.
Exactly.
But I feel like that's a different interview, you know?
And there's it all comes down to authenticity. And when we think about like who can authentically speak on the experience of lesbian candy.
Of lesbian M&Ms.
We think of me. A white man.
Not this one.
No.
You.
Exactly.
Yuri expert. Yeah, I think it's wait, hold on. What is guys, bear with us. What is the So Fujoshi is for female fans of the
of like yaoi,
yaoi. So what is for you? What is fudanshi? Fudanshi is male fans of yaoi. What do you call male fans of?
Just a guy, one of the guys, baby. You know what I mean?
Hey! So you can be a male fujoshi.
Okay, you can be.
Oh my god, what are male Yuri fans called? Perverts. Just kidding.
I don't know.
Oh, they're called hime danshi. Oh, hime. I have a hime. Slay, I guess. Okay, slay. Good for y'all.
I admire your passion, I guess.
You know what? Slay.
But you know what else is slay? Bad segue. The creepypastas and this podcast that you're listening to, 10 minutes in, you're still here. We're still here.
Yeah. Maybe you're coming from YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe you're on YouTube.
Maybe you're on.
To which we say,
possibly. Ciao.
Hey.
Yeah.
If this is your first episode, I don't usually look like this.
Nah, the show's not usually like this. This is the end of our series of keeping it light, keeping it slight, creepypasta stuff. And then we usually do like more analysis shit. Mm-hmm. Go check out some other episodes, some earlier shit. Check out some later shit if this is in the future and we're still alive. Unclear at this point.
Unclear.
Hopefully.
Whether we were whether we got slewed.
We're slaying currently or slewed.
Where we were slewed.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we killed it. What an episode that I would recommend from Ben is the Slender Man episode. His part, not mine. His part.
I would also recommend the Mystery Flesh Pit one. I feel like that was a good, fun episode.
The
meat party.
The Vita Carnis one is very good because also we discussed how we would eat
lots of flesh.
Yeah. So in terms of like we slayed, that one is like we ate. You know.
Yes. There we
go.
Okay.
So you had a little bit of slaying.
You can see our range.
Exactly. Yeah. We range. We contain multitudes and stuff.
Yeah.
And the multitude that we are containing today by ending for now is our creepypastas. I cannot say creepypasta today.
It's okay. It's all right. It's only part of the show.
It's only the thing we're talking about
the theme
today.
of the episode.
Okay. Creepypasta.
Creepypastas. Yes. And I stuck with our boy Creepy Green Text pretty much as my source this time. So mine are like generally fairly short, and a lot of them are green text. So you wanna get into it? I'll crack us open one.
Yeah, crack open a cold one, my boy.
With the boys. Be in car accident when I'm 5 years old with my parents and older sister. Recover. Everything's good. Be good buddies with my older sister for a while. Later, when I'm 8, she dies in another car accident. I wasn't in the car. Memories of this time are hazy, I assume from the grief. Later in life, I talk to my parents about this. They give me a weird look. They tell me there was no second car accident. My sister died in the first car accident when I was 5. I have no memories of the first car accident, but they tell me I was the only one conscious at the scene when the police arrived, and my sister was already dead. For the next few years, I had an imaginary friend that I said was my sister. One day, when I was 8, my parents couldn't take it anymore. They sat me down and told me, "Don't you remember she died in the car accident?" According to them, I cried for weeks after that, but I never mentioned it again. I don't know if I'm the crazy one with a bunch of false memories or if my parents are.
Is this spooky or like a coping mechanism?
I guess it's not necessarily spooky. I thought it was like a good one, kind of like set the tone as like a little dark, a little sad.
Yeah.
But not necessarily too spooky. I got some other ones that I'm like, oh, this JD's gonna not like this one.
I haven't even hired you yet, and you're already going to scare the shit out of me.
I'm taking a moonshot, JD. I'm disrupting the podcast.
On the day that I wear my glasses and can actually see the words.
I won't show any no photos, though.
Okay,
no photos. I don't want to have to edit in photos. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, but what do you mean editing photos? Just put them up on your phone and hold them to the camera, Ben. See, you've always been like, stop holding your iPad up to the camera, blah, 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 JD, stop it. I'm innovating. You don't have to edit.
I own an Android. I don't want to have people come at me for this.
Guys, I text Ben even if he has an Android.
Thank you,
I respect all people.
The little people. That's your platform.
Yeah. As a president of short people, my people, Sabrina Carpenter and Kendrick Lamar, we respect all people sometimes.
Yeah. Even tall people with Androids.
How tall are you, Ben?
Size people with Androids. Average, normal-heighted people.
I'm 4'11".
I'm 5'10", so I'm like...
Jesus, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. That's not tall.
Get him!
To be clear, I'm still...
Get him!
Yeah.
That's not tall. People... Tall people... You know that song that's like, short people have no reason to live? Tall people...
I'm very familiar with that one, yeah.
Turn it around, okay? Turn it around. It's time for tall people to be done.
Yeah. Tall people, like, don't live as long. statistically more likely to die sooner.
Yeah, because y'all keep hitting your heads on the fucking...
That's the big... Yeah.
It's all that oxygen that you're consuming up there.
Yeah. Yeah, the weather up here is terrible. It's dangerous.
That's an entire 9 inches taller than me. More than 9.
More than that.
More than 9.
It'd be 11 inches, I believe.
It's diabolical at this point.
Yeah.
That should not be real. So I haven't thought up any ratings for this one.
Okay.
But what do we think? We usually have like, is it scary?
Yeah, scary, believable.
Scary, believability, storytelling. Storytelling.
Yeah.
And then overall vibe.
Overall vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
So scary.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. No. You know, like a 0 on that one, I think.
All right. So let's do like out of 5. I feel like we've been doing 5s.
We'll do 1 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go with maybe we'll get I'll go 0. I don't think it's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really. Believability, I'll go with 3. What do you think? Because I feel like it's like I could believe that this person believes this.
Yeah. And storytelling.
I give it another 3. I feel like it is like a solid kind of it's a reveal. I think it would work in like I could see this happening in like a horror film for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the overall vibe of it.
Overall vibe, I'll go with 3.5.
3.5.
Decent.
Wooey.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like, I've been playing with this child for a long time. We grew up together, and everyone's like, "What child?"
Yeah, exactly. And it works. It's a bit of a trope, maybe, but I think it works.
Yeah, when employed, when used correctly, it's like kind of like very good. But
it's effective, and I think also just like the having the relationship with like your sister who is no longer with you, but you either don't accept or
that one's sad.
Yeah,
as the middle child,
as a sibling haver,
as a sibling haver, I don't like that, but I get it. I get why it's scary.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Green text done. 1. Let's go. I like the quickness of them. Sometimes it's like asking about like the storytelling aspect of the green text when they're like sometimes when they're purposely kind of like sentence kind of thing. It's when it has like it
can have a good clip to it, I think.
Yeah,
like the green text, and that kind of like part of why I like him. It's a little like Hemingway-ish, where it's like, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens.
Yeah, I bet one of them you could deliver like slam poetry.
Not generally getting too purple with the prose.
Yeah.
Text. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay. All right. Me turn. I have stayed in Creepypasta Wiki with all the images turned off because I hate to see her. This one's in Creepypasta fandom. This one's called Licking. Ayo! This one's in the tag Animals Historical Archive and Suggested Reading. So this is one of the, I think this was in when I was looking for it, it's in like the must reads aspect of Creepypasta. Okay.
Peak.
Okay. Licking. My great grandmother lived by herself up in the mountains at her cabin. Her husband was dead, so she was all alone there. She only had one companion, and that was her loving dog. They both adored each other, and the dog was a great comfort to her. Every night, when she went to bed, he would lick her hand to let her know that he was there to protect her. One night, she had gone to bed, and the dog licked her hand, like he had done routinely every night since her husband died. But this night was different. She had woken up in the middle of it because she'd heard her dog whimpering. She wanted to comfort him and let her know she was there for him. So she stuck her hand out by the bed and felt him gently lick her hand like always. She figured he was just cold, so she went back to sleep. The dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time in the night, so she stuck her hand out. The dog licked it, and she went back to sleep. This happened a third time. She stuck her hand out, and the dog stopped whimpering and came and licked her hand. She stayed awake a few moments afterward, then went back to sleep again. In the morning, she woke up and stuck her hand out by the bed, but nothing licked her hand. She thought that the dog had already awakened and was just in the front room. She rolled over and got out of bed and heard a drip, drip, drip. She thought the sound was coming from the kitchen, so she walked over and turned the handles on the sink faucet, but it wasn't the source of the noise. After frustratingly checking the sink and its pipes, she gave up and continued into her bathroom to take a shower. As she got closer to the bathroom door, it was evident that the sound was coming from within. She opened the door, looked above the bathtub, and gasped in utter horror. There, hanging from the light by his collar, was her loving companion. His blood was dripping into the bathtub. She screamed and began to cry, wiping her eyes and sobbing. She turned and looked into the mirror. In it, she saw the dog's reflection, and written on the mirror in its blood, with drips and streaks hanging down from each letter, were the words, "Humans can lick too."
You freak.
A little nasty.
You freak hoe. Yeah.
Stop it.
I don't care for it.
But that is like, okay. I think this is like archive, like, like, you know, creepypasta. But this is like one of those things of like, there was another creepypasta that I listened to a while back where it was a guy who had some sort of like injury to his eyes, and he had to like be taken care of by like a person, and he had like a dog, and the dog would also like lick his hand before bed or something like that, and then turns out like the dog has been like dead, and then he's just been being visited by like a person who was like, let's fuck with this dude who can't see for now.
Pervert.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this as someone who when I sleep, my limbs do not stick out of my blanket. I do not allow my hand to go over there.
You're like, yeah,
it's locked in, and my bed frame is purposely very small,
right?
So that it's like
under there
for the cats or
various purposes,
or any perverts, or that one fucking scene in Hannibal where he like Hannibal the show, where he gets home and he looks under the bed and the lady whose skin is like peeling off is under there.
Oh yeah, right.
That's the reason why I stopped watching that show, and then I had to rewatch it later on.
Yeah,
I made Ben watch it.
Take a little break.
Yeah. But yeah, and I hate this one, but I do remember it being like the trope of like, it's a normal thing that you trust to happen all the time. However, it's been fucked because actually humans can lick too, you know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So scare factor,
where it's me, so it's a 4.
4. Okay.
4. Believability, I don't know. I mean, like, listen, we've got nasties out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'll give this a 3.
Could conceivably happen.
Right? People have. I just Wendigoon released an episode today. It's like an hour or something long on the Hinterkaifeck murders, where like it was a long time ago, and this family was obliterated by someone who had been living in their house the whole time.
Oh, like in Germany or something. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's like the same thing right here, where it's like, maybe it was just one night, but like that was an entire person in your room, like coming to lick your hand like a fucking freak. So I did scare believability. So I believe that this could happen. This could be a nasty person. Storytelling. I like it. It wasn't too like, it was just like over and over again, this thing happened, right? Is this the rule of 3s, right? Third time, she was like, all right, that's kind of weird. Storytelling was very quick. It was not drawn out at all. And overall vibe, I'll give her a 4, because I might think about this tonight.
Yeah, it might keep you up for a minute. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I might.
So you'd be glad to keep fully tucked in.
Yeah, and then Minnie has a habit of cat Minnie has a habit of licking this part of my forehead, which is why it's perpetually red. So if I trust it too much that like whoever just licked my face is Minnie. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about this.
Cat tongue is pretty distinct, though.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah, I think dog, because my brother and his partner have a dog. Yeah. It's very like soft.
Dog tongue closer to human tongue.
Yeah.
Probably. So not like the Velcro texture.
Yeah. So guys. But yeah, that one was licking.
Don't get got.
Don't get got. And I do like the closeout of humans can lick too.
There you go. Yeah. The tangential one here.
Ooh.
Not looking related, but we'll see. It's a bit of a 2-parter.
I don't like
strap in for a minute. Be 5 years old. Had a nightmare. Probably had a nightmare. Safe to say. The nightmare isn't relevant at all. Woke up in the middle of the night. Dad was at his PC. Tell him. Ask me if I was feeling hungry. Say yes. Go downstairs for a sandwich. He starts making sandwiches. There's some kind of table higher than me. Can't see what's on the other side, cause the table. Put my hand in there. Then I swear, a fucking hand appeared from the other side and touched mine.
No, I don't like it already.
Fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, .rar. Run to my dad. Tell him. He doesn't believe me. Can't go to the fucking kitchen anymore without feeling some kind of disturbance. That feeling when 15 years have passed and it still scares me. And then, second part here, response to that story. Fuck me. The same thing happened to me too, only it was less than a year ago. I was laying on one of our couches reading a book while my wife was sleeping on the other couch next to me when I felt something pull my hair.
I don't like it!
I have shoulder-length hair, and our cat likes to play with it, so I assumed it was just the cat again, probably perched on the arm of the couch like he usually does. I didn't turn around to see, because it's a normal thing that happens all the time. Instead, I just reached back to try to pet him. But instead of touching nice fluffy fur, I grabbed an adult-sized hand with tough, wrinkly skin that also grabbed my hand like a handshake. I freaked the fuck out and shot up yelling, turning around just in time to see a few fingertips slipping down behind the couch. I dove forward, expecting to find some kind of vagrant that had broken into our apartment, but there was absolutely nothing behind the couch. There was no cat, no person, nothing. My yelling had woken up my wife, who was now sitting up and cussing me out for scaring her, but she didn't see it. I explained what had happened to her, and she got really scared, just because she can tell if I'm lying, and it was obvious to her that I was really freaked out, and I had honestly seen or felt something. She insisted that I call the cops to check everything out, since it was possible there was someone hiding in our place somewhere. Our neighborhood has gotten a bit sketchy in the last couple of years. The cops came and searched our place, as well as doing a quick search of the building, but of course they didn't find anything and ended up leaving, probably writing us off as being crazy or something. In the weeks following, there were a few more weird, creepy events, but it seems to have calmed down after a few months. It's really freaking me out that other people have had similar experiences.
That's disgusting!
Yeah.
I don't like that one!
Yeah.
Did you know that I wasn't gonna like this one?
I don't like this one either. Like, it's definitely like...
I don't like that!
Yeah.
I was like looking at my camera. I'm like, no hand is gonna pop out of there, right? Likely it's gonna be one of the girls.
Probably not.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I think that's definitely like, just as like a night owl, that's something that like reading like a story like this definitely there's a little bit of you that's like when you're up at like 3 a.m.
I think this is what's gonna convince me to start sleeping early.
Yeah.
Like, don't all fucking happen
like,
to me.
I don't have any business to be up that late.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll kind of consolidate into one, because I feel like the first one is kind of just set up for the second to me.
Yeah,
the first one is like a very brief little green text. The second one gets a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I feel like the energy of it being a response on that thread, presumably pretty quick after they read it, I think is like part of what gets it too, where you're like, oh man, like somebody was like, oh, this really resonated with me, like immediately.
That's so... I hate that.
Yeah.
For it to like grasp you right back.
Yeah.
Give you a little handshake. Oh, that's disgusting. And we both. Okay, listen, if you're a little hand that's coming out of nowhere, at least be the thing from like the Addams Family, or do a little whacking or something like that. But as people who have cats,
yeah,
this is definitely related to like it's not licking, it's a handshake, but it's like,
yeah, I feel like it's just like that. Something is touching you, and you think it's something,
don't like that,
but it's not. I think is like the theme there.
Oh,
like something invading the unfamiliar, invading the familiar.
Yeah.
I
imagine seeing that as a child is very like scary, but like as an adult, when you're more like, this can't be
happening. This is not a thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Why is it touching my hair? Okay, so scariness, I would give this one a 4. Like it's a spooky thing. Believability, it's like, I don't know. That one, I don't know. I feel like, part of the fun of like the creepypasta green text thing is like, what does happen that we don't know?
Yeah.
So I think I'll be nice. I'll give this one probably 3.5. Like, the energy I feel like of the post makes me want to believe it.
Yeah, it's sort of frantic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to believe because I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm also like, yeah, it could like, might keep me up. up and be careful about having my head over the edge of a couch in the middle of the night.
Fuck off.
Maybe. Believe it, storytelling. 4. I feel like it's a strong entry for me. And then what was the last one?
Overall vibe.
Overall vibe.
Yes.
4. I think it's pretty strong. Strong vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it would be 5s across the board. Do not even work. Yeah.
Ooh,
it's
immaculate.
I hate immaculate.
Yeah.
I hate to hear it. I hate to see it. So sometimes in the morning I'm very like alone at home because like either everyone's asleep or like everyone's gone to work or something like that. So like the idea of like one of the cats like tapping my leg and I go like that's my cat. But then like if I glimpse just a little bit and if it's like a finger, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to have that happen to you.
Yeah, but okay. If you sort of twist it around, like you know how people like think that like Bigfoot is like an interdimensional being, or like ghosts can be like interdimensional beings like slipping out of time for a second. What if it was like just a guy in a so like in the other side of this, it's just like, hey, I was like reaching out from like behind my couch and like all of a sudden this hand came out of nowhere and shook my hand. So what if it's just like moments of time?
Both sides then, like that would be that'd be scary still.
Yeah, both sides, both across the aisles. It's very scary on both ends. But what if it's just like it was an accident. It was an oopsie doopsie slip in time.
Into the guy's hair.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Is it like it's either one of like the Grudge movies where like the big reason why I don't close my eyes too much when I'm like rinsing out my hair in the shower is like I could close my eyes and like a hand could come out of my head and start like rinsing my hair with me or some shit.
Yeah. I think hair is definitely like a good, because I think it's like something that, you know, it's like an intimate thing to have something touching your head.
Yeah.
So the idea of that being like a strange thing, I think is effective because it is like, whether it's a ghost or an interdimensional portal or just like, I don't know, spirit, demon, whatever it is. That's definitely like, ugh.
Like don't
touch my hand.
Any sort of unexpected touch on anything is like, now that I have long hair, sometimes when my hair like slips on my like down my arm, and I don't expect it, I flinch a little.
You get a little shocked.
Yeah, because I'm like spider or something like that. Right. But like the feeling of a hand is very specific.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. Yeah. I don't like her.
There's a term for it in Brazilian Portuguese called cafune, and that's like the feeling of like, or like the act of running your fingers through someone's hair.
Oh my god!
Because it is like a distinctive thing. I think
it is.
You know, it's not. Yeah.
Like my cat will get her claws stuck in my hair.
Yeah.
But that's like a paw and some nails.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like that one.
You hate to see it.
You hate to hear it. You hate to think about it.
Your move.
My move? Okay.
I raise you hair touching ghosts.
It's disgusting. That's disgusting. Okay. This one is sort of like one of those. This is also in the historical archive section of our creepypasta.
Classic.
Creepypasta. Okay, this one is in the suggested reading this time around, and this one is in ghosts. Okay, this one's called Julia Legare. Legare.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Just kidding. Okay, so a few years ago, I was often found with friends exploring old, supposedly haunted places. One day, we found ourselves at Edisto First Presbyterian Church, where a girl named Julia Legare had been buried in her family mausoleum in 1852, after presumably dying of diphtheria. Passerbys reported hearing screams coming from the graveyard during the next week, but never investigated the cause of it. 15 years later, when they opened the mausoleum to inter the next family member who had died, they found her skeleton huddled in the corner beside the door. Streaks of dry blood remained as a monument to her fierce struggle to escape fate. Well, when we got there, my friends thought it would be a funny idea to shut the heavy stone door of the mausoleum behind me and leave me overnight. I was stranded, unable to move the stone slab without help. For what seemed like an eternity, I struggled in vain, just as Julia once had. Eventually, in the complete darkness, I had no choice but to resign myself to the night ahead of me. I've never been claustrophobic, but the stale air held a pressure that made breathing hard. It felt like an overwhelming sadness was literally pushing down on my shoulders. As time slowly slipped by, my initial anger faded into a sense of fear and, eventually, despair. Sometime later, the scratches began. They were faint at first. I was sure it was my imagination, but they seemed to become louder, clearer as time passed, more frantic. There was no doubt that something was trying to get through the door, or trying to get out. I held it into one of the corners farthest from it and covered my ears, but nothing could drown out the sounds. They only lasted for a few minutes, but each second was an unbearable eternity. I grew so distraught that I finally screamed, or I thought I did, until I realized that the voice was not my own. It echoed through the dark, tiny confines of the mausoleum. It was a wail of unrestrained pain and absolute overwhelming fear. Moments later, I realized that the scratching had stopped. For the first time, I could distinctly make out the sound of a young girl sobbing, the pitiful, choking gasps of someone without a shred of hope left to them. I felt such sorrow at the moment, such pain, that I think I forgot how to be afraid. In my heart, all her suffering seemed to resonate. The invisible weight of sadness I had felt along became crushing. Tears filled my eyes as I shook, my entire being racked with grief. Inexplicably, I even found myself apologizing aloud for what had happened to her between ragged breaths. Some part of me was so wrought with pity that I wanted to reach out and hold this girl in the darkness. It was a part held back only by the fear that something might truly be there to hold. I can't say if she heard me or was even aware of my presence. The sobbing never stopped, and the scratching at the door soon started anew. At some point, I must have passed out from hyperventilation. When I awoke, it was to the sound of the stone slab as it fell away from the doorway and landed on the ground with a thud. Even the pale green morning light was blinding after absolute darkness. Thinking my friends had come back, I rushed out into the foggy day and sucked in a mouthful of fresh air. I was shocked to find nobody around, but more eager to be away from that place. I stumbled around to the front of the church and entered a small, unlocked prayer house. I think previously it was a segregated mini church for slaves, but regardless, I collapsed against the door and waited, distraught, until my friends finally arrived. I approached them as they clustered around the fallen door. Two of them were kneeling next to it with faces of shock. I was sure they must have been wondering how I could move it by myself. I was wrong. In the growing light, it was clear. There were dried, bloody streaks covering the interior of the door. Some had light scratches where the nails had grated across the surface. Many more were smooth, as if left by bloody nubs. When they noticed me, they all jumped. I saw fear in their eyes. My anger must have been clear. They looked down at my hands, thinking I had torn them open in my escape, then shared a horrified look amongst themselves. They asked what had happened, and I told them every detail of what I remembered in halting, angry, and equally horrified parts, wanting them to know all that I had been put through. Finally, after I grudgingly got into the car, we started to head back. Someone spoke up. My friend said to me, "We were afraid to say anything until you were back inside the car, but take a look at your face." When I reached from the back seat and adjusted the rearview mirror, I saw that there was blood caked across my face. Just like the streaks upon the stone slab, there were dark red lines on either side, as if someone had run their torn fingers across it while I slept, feeling the warmth of another for the first time in over 100 years. This was posted on August 18, 2010.
Somebody read some Edgar Allan Poe, I think. A little gothic horror going on there.
A little segue.
Yeah.
They did have the Raven on creepypasta.
Did they?
They have, yeah. When I was
last Raven. Okay.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of like Edgar Allan Poe on here. And do you remember the yellow wallpaper?
No, I do not.
Oh my god, the yellow wallpaper is on here. They do just have like stuff from like Edgar Allan Poe and like a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, I was like, what? The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. He was in the suggested reading section, so I was like, okay,
well, it's public domain. I guess anybody can post it. But
the OG creepypasta maker, Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. So the Dollop, you know that podcast, right? American History podcast. It's two comedians. One of them does like improv based on stuff the other one researches and tells them about. They just did a 2-parter on Edgar Allan Poe.
Ooh.
He was a really out of control alcoholic, like really just beyond like the pale.
Yeah.
So it was a good listen. I would recommend it if anybody's unfamiliar with Poe.
I love me some Edgar Allan Poe with some distance.
Yeah, sure.
So I will definitely listen to that. But
we got damn near 200 years, so I think we got some distance for sure.
We got some distance. He's not over here to be like, yo.
Yeah.
There's also, something at your door,
cousin
girly.
fucker. Which,
yeah, so that's why I said at a distance.
This 12-year-old cousin.
Yeah, guys, it was a different time, and it could be wrong.
yeah. It was, and also from the podcast, it seems like it wasn't accepted then either. That he was going for his child bride cousin. So
who
was 12 years old.
Many things can be wrong at the same time in different times of our lives. Edgar.
So, Edgar. Thanks for the Raven. I guess you were before therapy, so you can't really fault you there. You went through a lot of trauma. Marrying your cousin, weird move.
Yeah.
A lot of things in your life, not the right move, not great moves.
I think this was on like the Watcher episode on like how Edgar Allan Poe died. And it was like one of the stories was like how they used to just do voter fraud for like no reason, just for kicks and shits back then, and how they would like nab you and like dress you up as different people and like make you vote. So like they
vote multiple times.
Yeah, they were doing that to
shit face.
They were doing that to Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. It's one of those, yep. I'm sure he was not minding the alcohol part of that. He was fine with that.
It was like I could go like a couple more times, guys. No, this time I want to wear the mustache.
Yeah. Let me vote again. I got a few more in me.
Yeah. Like legitimately homie was burning his own furniture to sort of stay warm, Yeah. But thanks for the Raven again, Slay.
Slay.
Was he cast with a Monolato as well?
Yes.
Slay? I love that.
Belly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually building a wine cellar, and when you come here next time,
come through? Oh, for sure. You got some rare wines.
I have some wine bottles that are almost as tall as me, and you should definitely check them out down there.
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
I'm really inspired by Cask of Amon.
Poe-maxing.
I'm Poe-maxing.
Nobody should be Poe-maxing. Nobody should be
only like in terms of like, I'm Cask of Amontillado maxing. I think.
What are the characters' names are in that? I don't know.
You're getting Amontillado at this.
Amonta-maxing.
Amonta-maxing at this point. Yeah. But yeah, they did have they have the Raven on creepypasta. If you ever feel like reading some.
If you ever want to read the Raven.
Oh yeah, some of the comments on there were like, before we start rating, there's like someone on here, when I saw it, I was like, I just adore this poem. I only wish I could have heard it recited by Poe himself. By all accounts, it was a hell of an experience. And then there's someone here who's just kind of like, guy, go away, bird, no. And and then there's one sort of like dissident, not dissident, but it says, it's good having so much of Edgar's work on here. First naming Edgar Allan Poe is crazy, actually. Yo, Edgar.
My boy Edgar.
My boy Edgar. This is from 2016. It says, it's good having so much of Edgar's work on here. They should be the pieces setting examples for future horror writers, not Jeff the Killer or any other trash pastas. And then someone was like, I agree.
Yeah. Actually, very sophisticated.
Well, actually,
we don't like regular creepypastas. We like Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah. I'd argue. You know what? Julia Ligara does have like the sort of Edgar Allan Poe vibe to it of like, yo, I'm going fucking through it.
Yeah.
And it is like just a scary feeling. Like all the way back then where they couldn't really confirm that people are really, really dead, where they would bury them with a bell. Yeah. I hate that.
That's real. That's real.
That's real.
That's real.
Now that's real. Because it's like they were like autopsying people. They were like, are you a donor? Can I take this from you?
Yeah.
Back then, so they were just like, yo, what is it? Hamsters? They kind of just, you got to check on them because sometimes they just go to sleep in a really intense way.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure before you even think about burying them. They were not doing that to people back then.
Yeah, right.
They're just like,
well, not moving.
Nah, yeah, you did.
Into the ground. No preservation either. So there was no like, you weren't being embalmed. You were just like, we got to get this motherfucker in the ground before he starts rotting.
Yeah,
so,
put him down there.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Make it quick.
Yeah,
hence the bell.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder who the first person to complain was to get that bell thing started.
Okay. Yeah. Yes to the first person who experienced that, but to be the first person to hear it happening.
Yeah. I feel like the first person to experience it and to get out. That's like the person you want to be. You're like, oh, thank God. Oh, because otherwise everybody else is just like, oh, no, you never knew. They wouldn't have known that it was an issue, right?
It's so devastating, actually. Yeah. You hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
I literally, if I hear, listen, guys.
Yeah.
I love being scared and all that stuff, right? I arguably, in this entire family, I'm probably the second person to not be as scared of everything, right?
Yeah.
But if I was at the cemetery and I heard, you could be alive in there, but I'm going.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That person who experienced it for the first time, luckily, it was not me who was hearing that, because they're fucked.
Somebody got you, so good for you.
I'd be like, you know what? That's your business.
Yeah.
Like, somebody made an error, but I'm not.
It's not my.
It's
not my monkeys.
Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Not my circus. Not my elephants. Come on now.
Yeah.
Would you?
You see clown shoes on here? No.
I know.
Not my circus.
Don't start that.
Yeah.
Cut it.
I mean.
Would you do it, Ben? You're at the cemetery.
Dig up a grave? No, I wouldn't dig up a grave.
Listen, I'm not trying to catch you out on being a grave digger. Like, if you were just chilling at the cemetery, visiting, and you start hearing, are you going?
I'm leaving. I'm for sure leaving. I'm not like gonna stick around.
It's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, I could tell somebody.
I'd tell somebody. I'd like leave a voice message on the cemetery office or whatever.
Not even like, I should call the fire department. Why am I questioning you when I literally said I would run away?
You said you would run away too.
Maybe you're the person. Listen.
Yeah.
Maybe you're the person with me. Maybe you're my backup plan.
Yeah. Yeah, then we're getting out of there. We're fine.
Oh my God.
You got to be safe to make sure other people are safe. That's like a big mistake that a lot of people make, is they go into danger. Nah, first you got to pull back a little bit, Yeah,
you got to put the mask on yourself before you help other people.
Yeah, or else you're just going to die too.
Yeah, so
first. So,
Be a helper by helping yourself first.
Yeah.
But except for that person's fucked down there, guys.
You're fucked down there. Yeah.
Sorry that.
So was Julia.
So was Julia.
And our pro tag.
Our pro tag luckily made it out alive with the help of Miss Julia helping people from wherever she is. But rating. Scary. I think reading it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
I know the experience is very scary. It was more incredibly sad
to have happen. Yeah. Sure.
It's sad that your friends would think that's a funny thing to do.
Yeah. Not your friends.
Sweetie. They are not your friends.
No.
This literally, the second that I get out, I would wait for them to come back. I would cuss them out, and I would never talk to them ever again.
Lock them all in there.
Yeah, I'm like, it's your turn, Julia. Julia, get them. You know what I mean? Like, this is your time for revenge, because somebody did this to you in like a different kind of way. But get at him, girl. She probably has a lot of rage in there, so it's not as scary to read as it is very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is po-ish.
Yeah, it's po-ish. That's
morbid.
Sad. It's like a morbid situation, right? And then believability. As much as I would believe that this is not something that would happen to someone for like maybe like an hour or like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Some people do have like messy friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people who, when we were younger, they like put their sibling in a box and sat on the box as their sibling panicked. So it's like, some people are fucked up, that kind of thing.
Some people suck.
Some people suck. Storytelling, I think it was very good because. So wait, scary is hit him with a 4. Believability, hit him with a 3. Storytelling, hit him with a 5 is the thing, because it's very like. It's very good. It's very reminiscent of like that like dark gothic storytelling where there's like a lot of like the emotion happening in it, where it's like the OP is like very scared but also feels sadness for the ghost that's in there with her, right? Yeah. Where like we have a lot of stories of people being very scared of the ghost, scared of the hand that's like coming to touch them kind of thing. And but to then have the sort of like sympathy for the ghost, where you're kind of like, I want to hug this ghost, but I'm still afraid of if I do hug it, there will be something to hug, right? And then the fact that like the person sees the scratches on their face and just is a little bit afraid, but also considers that like mayhaps this is the first time this ghost has seen another person in a very long time and just wanted to touch them, right? So storytelling, 5. I love it. Overall vibe, 5. It is like reading OP. I'm about to put you on a little pedestal. It's kind of a little bit like reading Poe a little bit.
Yeah, it's gothic horror. Effectively, it could be. It's like a modern time. But it could definitely fit with the themes of gothic horror there for sure.
I watched a video essay. I didn't want to watch the movie, but it was like, I am the pretty thing that lives in the house or something like that. It has that sense of like, this is a new, like a modern ghost story with still aspects of the past, but this is a new ghost story now. So I liked it.
Nice. Good job, OP.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, let's see. All right. Are we feeling like a night job story, a camping story, a boat story, or a hiking story?
Okay. I kind of want to do boat story.
Boat story it is. All right.
Oh.
Former Coast Guard here. I never talked about this before to anyone besides my wife and my father. They are the two people I could trust to believe me when I tell you what I'm going to tell you was 100% fact. I was attached to one of the smaller boats back in 2008, medium endurance ships, minimally armed and only 200 feet long. We would do patrols in the Eastern Pacific, cutting lines in the sea looking for drug boats. Underway in the Pacific provides calm seas normally and cool weather at night. We darken the ship on all outer decks to make ourselves close to invisible, especially in a no-moon period. That night was the same as described above, except there was a full moon. I had the mid's watch with 3 others in the engine room. We passed the time cracking jokes and talking about nearly everything we could think of. Around 3 a.m., I went to do my final round of the engine room. I left the control booth, and immediately we took a massive roll to starboard. I tried to grab the knob to the door, but it flew open. Shit started flying around the booth, logbooks, laptops, and anything that wasn't tightened down. The chief engineer fell out of his chair and hit the wall near me. We immediately began to roll in the opposite direction, and everything followed with it. We leveled out eventually, and I went into the booth to straighten up with them. We thought we might have hit a rogue wave. I went up to the deck to see if there was any external damage to the ship. As I went up the ladder, 3 people had walked in from the outside. One of them was crying hysterically. I went to help them out and grab some dry uniforms. The whole ship was awake at that point and was working on putting shit back in place. I asked them if they were outside when the wave hit. He looked at my eye wide and was stammering slightly, but told me it wasn't a rogue wave. He told me that they had just finished their watch and went outside for a smoke. Then they saw a massive amount of water displacement like a submarine diving, and it was coming right towards them. They didn't have time to run inside and brace themselves on the rail. The wave rushed along the side of the ship and rolled us nearly 50 degrees to starboard. He got slightly choked up at this point, and they described a massive arm reach out of the water and slapped the sea about 20 yards off the starboard side after whatever it was passed into the ship. The force of that blow soaked them, and they stared at each other speechless. Their friend collapsed and began to cry. Everyone gathered in the galley, and started to talk because the lookout along with the folks on the bridge heard a massive splash and a jet of water rise nearly the height of the mast. One guy described it like a depth charge. They didn't pick up anything on the radar, and the guys in CIC said that we were the only vessel for nearly 30 miles. Sonar apparently missed everything as well. It was such a strange anomaly that it warranted a visit of the Navy, not Coast Guard, officers to visit the ship on our next port call and hear what we had described. They concluded that it was a rogue wave, and we took it especially hard because of the size of our ship. But those guys wouldn't budge about what they saw outside. Those guys ended up getting transferred off the ship when we returned home. They got their first pick when they wanted because they endured a traumatic experience while afloat. I ended up never seeing them again except for one guy who was on shore duty at a station close by. I asked whatever came of the whole thing. He said a captain who visited us after the event had pulled them aside and said that they should go peacefully with the conclusions of the Navy or risk damage to their careers. And that's the end of it. And they have a response. What did he mean by an arm? Like a tentacle?
Yeah.
Or literally like a human hand?
That's my question.
Yeah. And he responded, like an arm and an elbow, with an elbow. That's all we know.
I hate this.
Yeah. As a nautical gamer, how do you feel about this one?
Okay, listen. If you had been like, oh yeah, it was like a tentacle arm, I'd be like, oh, okay, Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken. Yeah.
Arm and elbow.
Elbow.
Because that's like, okay.
What could that be? Yeah.
That implies some big.
Yes. Some big swimming entity.
Just decided to slap the shit out of your boat. Your ship.
Yeah. Knock you on your ass.
And to see that.
Yeah. And then to have it be silenced.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No. And then not detected on like any radar,
Didn't
nothing.
show up, nothing. No signs of this happening.
I don't like that. It's like, okay, when people are a little too fast and they run at you, and then when things are way too big.
Way too big, yeah.
That's big.
Megalophobia, yeah.
Yes.
Giant arm in the middle of the sea, 3 a.m. at night.
At 3 a.m. It's a 3 a.m. thing too.
Yeah.
It's just like one thing on top of another. You're in the middle of the sea.
Yeah.
It's a big ass arm. There's 3 y'all, and it's traumatizing. Nobody believe you.
You're told to shut the fuck up about it. You didn't see no arm. Shut up. Keep quiet. No one can know about the big arm sea creatures.
Big arm. Big arm in the sea.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't like it.
All right. So, scare factor.
Yeah. Scare factor bad?
I think the ocean is very scary. So I will give it. I'll give it 4.5. I don't want to be on the ocean in the middle of the night. On a small boat.
Exactly.
I definitely don't want to see a giant arm.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want any part of this. Believability. You know, I think, what's going on in the ocean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain amount of mystery down there.
Yeah.
A certain amount of stuff that's just like, it's the ocean. Who fucking knows? Who can say? I will give it. I'll give it a 4. Because I'm like, you know what? Maybe they saw something. Maybe
Maybe the Marianas Trench has something down there.
Maybe it was just a whale arm that got kind of arm. Maybe it was who knows? But I don't know. I'm like, possible they saw something.
Yeah.
Something happened. And also, seems like definitely a thing where like I would believe that the Navy would be like, no, it was just a rogue wave.
That one is like the most believable part.
Yeah. No, you didn't see anything.
You didn't see shit.
You didn't see shit. Writing. The weak point here, I'd say. There's definitely some parts where I was like not super clear when I was reading out loud. So I go 2.5. It's all right. It's all right. The writing. And overall vibes. We love a sea shanty. We love nautical nonsense. So I will give it a 4.
We love the sea. Slay.
Yep.
Do you remember reading the green text one where it's like, and the submarine had handprints all over it? The one that you had What's worse, big hand in the sea or many ghost hands on the sea?
Ghost hands. I think big hand. I think I'd have more megalophobia on the ocean of just like something that's so like huge.
It's so big.
That's like bigger than your boat. That's scary to me. That's definitely like oh fuck. Like
because I feel like the sub one with all the hands is just like that could happen to like a car in the middle of like a haunted area, right?
Yeah, right.
It's just under the sea, so that's kind of like the extra weirdness of it. But a big old hand coming out the cut.
Yeah, something below the boat that's just like bigger than the boat. That's a good image. That's a good, creepy one.
And then why did it do that?
There isn't. No. Who knows? Who knows the reasoning of big hand?
And that's what I've been saying.
What does big hand want?
What does big hand want? For $20, I will do.
It's big hand international Bigfoot.
We are under the influence of big hand.
Tired of it.
I'm tired of big hand putting its big grubby paws all over my head out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm really looking at a hand.
Yeah, you've got got a nasty theme, which is kind of they're scary. Yeah. I don't like it. Oh my goodness. Do I regret asking for both? That's my main form of going to the work when I do have to go to the office. So
I don't think it's gonna happen on the San Francisco ferry. Like, it'd be okay.
That thing would get smoshed.
I mean,
I would cease to exist, I fear.
But I don't think the bay's not that deep. I don't think you're having mysterious middle of the ocean experiences going on the bay.
Yeah, and I'm usually asleep when I get on the ferry, so even if it came out of nowhere, I wouldn't know. I'd just be dead.
Yeah.
I'd just be I like that. Disgusting. As nautical gamers, I don't FW it. I don't F with it.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, did I just say fuck with? Okay.